Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chan. Honey, look, we've got to talk about Maurice. I don't think I was even going to do this until it was something I saw. And I was like, I have to. There are some discrepancies here, or definitely some things left out. Let's get into it.
The world sees a lot of stuff that, is projected on television. However, regardless, it's family. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And the hardest part is that man, why we had to stop?
Yeah. It's all good, man. Listen, it's all good, man.
So he went on to say that, if there's something that you can do it for Kiki's kids. She has 3 children and a husband, and they're feeling it right now, right? But it was the projection of what we see on television. Like, your projection was horrible. Regardless of what goes on behind the camera, your projection, as far as Kiki was concerned, was horrible. Let me know if you agree with that. Now, Dustin is asking him about how he felt about the Fletchers with their adult children. Let's see what Maurice has to say.
Have you had similar experiences figuring out how to, parent an adult child and help when it's needed, but not necessarily handicap them from really growing on their own independently? What has that experience been like for you, Maurice?
I have 3 adult children.
Oh, 3, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't talk about my daughters on the show.
Okay.
But, I have 3 adult children, and it's all different. As an adult, finding your way in life is a challenge. Jalen took a different route than Tatiana, and Tatiana took a different route than Sheikha did. And, one is a chef, one's a professional working in cybersecurity, and one works for me.
Y'all, we supposed to be following the reality, right? And the reality for Maurice is that he has 3 grown daughters. I want to say I heard somewhere he got 6 kids. Now, Kiowa has only had his son, Monster, right? I know where them 3 girls came from. Y'all remember when he did his interview with Carlos and he said that after he graduated, it was crazy. His life was crazy. He had bounce house situations like every night. You remember what he told Kimmy in Vegas, or the group, that he had been with, 6 women or 8 women? And Kimmy was concerned that that was before or after her, right? But when Carlos asked him, what's the shortest time? How long have you gone without it? And he said 6 months. Because, Maurice said on that interview that he thought he had something that was going to take him on out of here. Child. But the thing is, he seems like he has 3 successful adult daughters, right? Now, he doesn't have that situation like Chris and Nell, where they are posting bail. But he has daughters who may be posting bail for their dad. Let's keep going. Y'all, the next question Dustin asked Maurice is what is keeping him on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Child, the answer that he answered, when he said the fans, I was done. Maurice said that people come up to him all the time and they say, thank you. You helped me get through a divorce. I love the way you fought for your son. Maurice said that he's helped at least 12 people pass the bar. Now, Maurice would be talking about that. I find that really hard to believe. But the fans, Maurice? Okay. So now we're going to get into what type of lawyer is Maurice for real, right? In the wake of everything he's done with the content creators, what kind of lawyer is Maurice? And we're going to let him explain it to us. And also, Dustin asked him something about the situation with Marceau and the parking at Black and Black being closed. And he never really answers the question, at least not to me. So let's get into all of it. Let's go.
We're going to see any more new pursuits or new pivots professionally from you as we continue to chronicle your life on the show?
The only thing I'm going to do is do more of what I'm already doing.
Okay.
Right. I think that people don't know what type of lawyer I am. Really, they don't really know what type of law I practice, and that's funny. But it's also an issue because I practice consumer law, and consumer law deals with banking and finance, right? Consumer protection issues. So whether you have credit issues, whether you have finance issues, you know, housing, it deals with housing background checks. It goes with all of the it's important about information.
So Maurice is out here suing content creators, right? Looking up their backgrounds, asking for their credit history, their banking information, and does not have a lawyer to represent him in court for something like this. But he's a consumer lawyer. What? That is wow.
Legally, what can Marceau do? What are his options there? Like, what's your take on that from a legal perspective, Maurice?
From a legal perspective, you guys will probably see in the future that well, I don't know if you guys are going to see it in the future, but that situation gets solved.
Okay.
And oftentimes, you have to get involved from a legal perspective, right? And it's good to say that, you know, that got figured out. And I don't know if they're going to show who figured it out, but yeah, that got figured out.
Well, that's good to know. We love solutions, right?
In the words of Kimmy Scott, Maurice is not that kind of lawyer. Dustin asked him, the lawyer, what's his take on Marceau's situation from a legal perspective. He goes on to say what we're going to see on television, that it gets handled. Not by him, by an actual lawyer who does things like this. Dustin, I don't know if you heard him, but he fixes credit scores, right? He does background checks. He is not that kind of lawyer. Let's keep moving. So Dustin asked him what were the things that he disliked about the show. He said that he really did not like to see the couples breaking up, right? And if there's any way they could come to a resolve, that would be great. Maurice said he lives a life where he lets things go because you don't know the weight of carrying that. And even in his worst moments, he lets it go. Really? Is that why you said Miss Black Titanic is fictitious? And you are too, as you are on the screen? Y'all, it's on the TV, y'all. I can't make it up. So he mentioned the scene with him and Kimmy, you know, riding the bikes and him telling her that her not being able to perform is a mental thing. He said, you know, Maurice, this is not you. He said that he was acting out because he did not know how to cope with the diagnosis. Now, he did say, you know, he was afraid that he was going to lose Kimmy because they had just got married. I get that. But, sir, you at that moment became the worst, the absolute worst between you and your brother. Maurice said that Moses is a good-looking guy and he can have his pick of the litter. And he picked Sonny, right? And brought that back to Destiny. What type of web are you trying to weave, sir? That's what he said. Maurice said that the dynamic between Mel and Martell is going to take a lot of forgiveness and a lot of apologizing. You know, they're the mother and father of 4 children, and to move forward, that's what's going to have to happen. Maurice, be quiet. After Maurice has spoke about Sonny in the triangle, Trish in the triangle, Fletcher's and the grown kids, Martell and Mel, after he spoke on all of that, right? Kiki, Marceau don't have no parking at Black. Then he asked him about the DUI situation. He says he's going to have to let the process play out, right? And then Dustin, who did not understand, Maurice is not that kind of lawyer, says, you know, like, yeah, they got the right one. Maurice is not that kind of lawyer. Maybe his kids gonna help him. His 3 grown kids. It's your girl, Millie Chun. Let's talk about it. Bye, y'all.